Okay, on the Newshour debate tonight, we have Saba, political editor of Outlook. We have Tom Vadakkan of the Congress Party, Nupur of the BJP. Mr. Raghav Chadha, thank you for joining us from the Aam Aadmi Party. I don't know, maybe you thought you haven't gone into the boycott mode yet. But that's another form of intolerance that the Aam Aadmi Party specializes in. It also boycotts channels. And we are so scared, aren't we, Raghav? Hartosh Singh Bal, political editor of the Caravan. Thank you very much for joining us. Okay, so Raghav, if you were asked, when exactly, if you were to pinpoint the point when Arvind Kejriwal began to lose the plot, what would that be, in your view? Which is the precise point, you think? Was it when he was criticized for the way the party was breaking apart, his tone and tenor at the party meeting, or the lack of democracy? Did he lose the plot then, or did he lose the plot when he... No, I'll give you 3 examples, please. Did he lose the plot when he continued to make a speech?
I'll give you many more
one second. Just relax, please. Secondly, because these are the most recent instances. Second is, did he begin to lose the plot when he continued to make the speech when a man had committed suicide at your own party rally, and then people like you and others came and apologized for it? I hope you can hear me, Raghav. Yeah. Or thirdly,
there is some problem in the audio, but I
okay.
can...
No, as long as you... Thank you. It's only a problem with the audio, no problem with the question. Or do you think the third time was when he had a law minister, right? What's his name? Mr. Tomar, right? Who allegedly faked his own degree. Right? This is the same Arvind Kejriwal who, by the way, demanded that Salman Khurshid resign.
Let me begin by...
Right. So, what is the exact point when you...
Yes. So
what is the exact...
Yes.
Which is the exact point when you think he began to
I'll tell you.
lose the plot? Yeah.
I'll tell you. So Mr. Goswami, my leader neither called the entire press as Bazaru, nor did he call the entire media.
I'm asking you about your leader. We'll deal with the other leaders separately. We have.
Yes.
Answer for your own leader. Yeah.
Yes. He said that a section of the media, I am answering that, he said that a section of the media has indulged in Supari journalism and is out with the prime objective of dislodging the reputation of the Aam Aadmi Party.
But how come?
I can give you multiple evidences.
But how come?
I can go to microscopic detail to substantiate my claim. One of the recent claims is the story that Times Now broke a few minutes back, in which it became clear, it became extremely apparent that the entire controversy regarding Mr. Kumar Vishwas is the one orchestrated by our political adversaries, and a particular news channel since morning has been running as if Kumar Vishwas is in an illicit relationship with a lady.
Now,
hitting below the belt, ridiculing the Aam Aadmi Party.
Yeah.
No.
So,
dislodging the reputation of the Aam Aadmi Party, running a smear campaign against the Aam Aadmi Party.
The problem... One second.
Names of the channels. I can give you the names of the owners. I can tell you what are the vested interest groups involved.
Raghav, what happens is... What happens? Raghav, please. Now, can I get some others in, please? You see, Raghav, what happens is... I have often observed that politicians, when they come to power, right, and when they are cocooned in that environment of power, then they believe anybody who criticizes them has an agenda, right? And they also then begin to believe... One second. So the first sign of a political leader falling... One second, Raghav, again Raghav, you are not Arvind Kejriwal. You don't need to be so intolerant.
I think you are...
You're not Arvind Kejriwal.
There is an ambiguity, Mr. Goswami.
No, one second. You're not. No, but one second.
There is an ambiguity
Mr. Raghav Chadha.
We have not.
Mr. Raghav Chadha.
It was not a general statement. It was a specific statement meant for a particular media house.
Mr. Chadha, it's all the same.
That media house is being run by extortionists and blackmailers.
Mr. Chadha.
They've been caught on camera soliciting bribe of 100-odd crores, man. They've gone to jail.
Mr.
All of us know this.
No, you're not making a channel-specific point. He's making a generic point, and I'd like to get the others in. And by the way, Mr. Chadha, we have...
Not.
You see, Mr. Chadha...
If there is any ambiguity, I want to clear it now. Play the entire tape.
Yeah.
Play Mr. Kejriwal's entire tape on your channel, Mr. Goswami. He said, media ka ek tabka, a section of the media, I urge you to play that video once again.
No, 1 second, please.
Play the complete video.
No, 1 second. The point is this, please, and can the others come in? You see, the point is very simple, Raghav. That Arvind Kejriwal, there is a pattern to Arvind Kejriwal's comments. Let the others come in. The pattern is that every time he is under fire, he chooses to lash out at the media. I'll give you one. When he was asked about Gajendra Singh and his role in the matter, he says the media is picking up for TRPs. Second example, please let me complete.
He said,
second exam. No, please, don't. Please, 1 second, Raghav. Raghav, you are not Arvind Kejriwal.
There were meaningful.
You are not Arvind Kejriwal.
Meaningful debates.
But you are not Arvind Kejriwal. Why do you need to be like Arvind?
But there were channels who called us perpetrators of crime.
Raghav Chadha.
Murder, Mr. Goswami.
Raghav Chadha. When the media questioned him on his Republic Day dharna, he accused the media of being paid to do negative stories. This is a fact. You see, your leader has started fighting windmills. It is a very serious problem.
Mr. Goswami,
your leader is seeing and fighting windmills. Okay, it's not between you and me. I'll let the others come in. I'll let Nupur come in. Nupur, please.
I will give you evidence after evidence.
1 second.
3 days before the election, a news channel runs a story saying that Mr. Kejriwal is a land grabber and he has disproportionate assets.
Mr. Chadha, you are having a problem. Mr. Chadha. Mr. Chadha.
Blackmailers, extortionists who are caught on camera soliciting bribes, have been on jail, have been on,
Mr. Chadha, don't go on. Mr. Chadha, you should see the tone and tenor.
With the sole agenda of maligning the Aam Aadmi
Chadha, the problem is that your leader is suffering now from what can only be described as partial megalomania. I hope it doesn't become complete megalomania. Nupur is responding right now. Nupur is responding. Nupur, please. Nupur.
I think the media off late I'm getting the sense. Please, Raghav, allow me.
Yeah.
Off late I'm getting the sense that all of life's problems that the Aam Aadmi Party faces are due to the Bharatiya Janata Party. That is the worst defense to have. Be it any matter, there is a conspiracy and BJP is involved. Now, having said that, when you come to this, irrespective of what the media might be reporting, according to you, might be misreporting, your leader suggested scuttling of voices by doing a public trial of media houses.
Yeah, what is that?
I really get the sense with the way Mr. Arvind Kejriwal has been running the Aam Aadmi Party and the famous "Ha main anarchist hoon" dialogue, I really get the sense that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal thinks that he's a law unto his own self, and he can decide what is right and what is not. And then what are we expecting tomorrow? Public flogging of what he feels is incorrect?
Are you denying the
what are you trying to propagate?
My question to
Mr. Raghav Chadha, what are you trying to propagate in this country today? From your law minister who was unlawful enough to summon judges from the High Court, which is not allowed. And he's a lawyer by profession. Two, going into some women from foreign countries, their residence, and creating a scene to raid them without a search warrant. And then pushing police personnel to do it. And then after that, your leader sitting on dharna in his support and trying to boycott Republic Day. Okay, are you trying to change the face of the Indian Constitution? Are you trying to also suggest there is no judiciary, no courts in this country?
We don't call the entire media as prostitutes. We are talking about a particular.
Allow me. When you bring up the Bazaru comment, it was against 12 years of being repeatedly hounded by various media houses. Raghav, that was because of 12 years of being hounded by various media channels, even though the Supreme Court-led investigation exonerated him.
1 second.
Here, and he never suggested scuttling media voice.
1 second.
Which you call the fourth pillar of democracy.
No. I have a quiz question.
I wonder what happens to your favoritism when you have Krantikari episodes happening. I wonder what happens when you talk about misreporting and favoritism when you allude and collude with certain media personnel and fix things that this will make it more Krantikari. I'm sorry, never in my political career has anybody suggested this is how you do things and you'll come out as a better politician. Nobody in this country in a constitutional position of authority has suggested let's scuttle the media's voices, let's have a mob justice kind of
what is this? I actually want to understand. No, 1 second. I want to understand.
An absolute state.
No, I want to understand here tonight. 1 second, please. 1 second. You can't take this. I want to get Saba and Hartosh into this also. But I first want to get Tom as well. 1 second, please. Be tolerant. I have seen. 1 second. I have seen.
One question to you.
1 second. Please understand what.
Just let me.
No. 1 second. You have to answer the question.
Raghav Chadha.
Arnab Goswami, Tom Vadakkan, Tom Vadakkan.
Mr. Raghav Chadha, have you overtaken as an anchor of the show? Are you so worried? Why are you so worried? You have used the word Supari 4 times. I've been 20 years in journalism. I've never heard the word Supari. Supari is an underworld
It was coined by an editor.
And it is used.
This word was coined by a leading editor.
For assassination. What does your Chief Minister mean by Supari journalism? What are you talking about?
It is meant for dislodging the reputation
You have
of the Aam Aadmi
16
Party.
Journalists. You have 16 journalists from different media working for you. Were they part of insider trading? Now it hurts you, and you come out saying that you have a mob trial and you will lead. Your Chief Minister will lead this mob to different media houses. Is this Supari journalism? Is that the Supari journalism you are talking about? Mr. Chadha, watch your words. When you use the word Supari, you are referring to an underworld organization. Are you threatening the media?
He is threatening the media. He is threatening the media.
Are you threatening the media? You have no business being in a democratic system. You need to get out of the democratic system. You are an anarchist, self-styled anarchist. Mr. Chadha, I'm referring to you not personally, but to your Honorable Chief Minister.
I think a lot of uncharitable words are being used.
No uncharitable.
You started it. You started it calling Supari journalism. You need to take that back. You need to apologize for that. You need to apologize. How can you call journalists Supari journalists? Who has heard of it? You have bad apples everywhere. But how can you do this, Mr. Chadha? How can you call a journalist a Supari journalist? I think you need to apologize.
I can only say this. I can only say this. It must be whoever uses the word Supari for journalists must be a very frustrated person. Now, I'll tell you one thing. I don't know who Mr. Chadha is talking about or who Tom Vadakkan is talking about. I can only say they must be extremely frustrated. My point is, 1 second. I take exception. No, 1 second. 1 minute. I want Saba and Hartosh to come in on this. If, and I quote, he says, a very large section of the media, I want to know. He says, a very large section of the media has accepted Supari for finishing off the AAP. And he doesn't say, Hartosh and Saba, he doesn't say a few, as Raghav is belaboring to try and make the point. He says a very large section of the media has accepted Supari to finish the AAP. Then I want to ask, 1 second please, Raghav, enough, I've heard enough. When almost all the channels cut live to the India Against Corruption dharnas for the Lokpal bill, whose Supari did we take? When the entire national media questioned the then government's unwillingness to bring in a Lokpal bill, whose Supari did we take? No, 1 second. When the entire media lauded the Aam Aadmi Party for the spectacular showing in the Delhi elections, whose Supari did we take? When the entire media acknowledged, listen to me, when the entire media acknowledged that Kejriwal's apology worked with the Delhi voters, whose Supari did we take? When the entire media took on the BJP for coming out with advertisements that attacked the community that Kejriwal attacked the community that Kejriwal belonged to and his children, whose Supari did we take? Answer my questions tonight. When the entire media praised Arvind Kejriwal for his speech during the trust vote in January 2014, whose Supari did we take? Whose Supari did we take? Don't make these sweeping comments and try and hope you get away with it.
Respect to you. With the greatest,
and also let me tell you this, with the greatest of respect to you,
journalists sitting in his office.
That has the
he is with 16 journalists who are Supari journalists who have been doing this. Insider trading is what they've been doing. They have 16 journalists who are Supari journalists. What about them?
Is not exposing
you will disown them.
Media, which is the fourth estate. You have the courage to expose corruption in judiciary, in the executive, in the legislature. Why don't we have the courage to expose corruption in media?
Well, let me tell you, I don't need lectures on that from you.
Can I learn from you? 16 journalists sitting in your organization. 16 journalists. They were doing
simple answer.
Mr. Vadakkan,
Mr. Chadha, you have 16 journalists who are working for you. They were doing inside trading. What do you have to say about that? Were they Supari traders?
He wants to stick to the debate. My question is, what gives you the right to suggest a public trial for any pillar of democracy, sir? There is a judiciary, there is a constitution, and there is a rule of law. You're trying to say that a bunch of people selected by you, and God knows what yardstick is going to decide for them what is right and what is right.
And let me say this tonight. 1 second. 1 second. Now I want to answer Raghav. Raghav, I want to answer you. I want to answer you now. Raghav, I want to answer you.
You're not making sense.
Raghav, I want to answer you.
You're trying to take law into your own hands.
Raghav Chadha.
You are trying to take law into your own hands. You feel that you've become Lord God of the world. Yeah.
Watch. I want to respond to Raghav Chadha, and then, by the way, the two journalists on the panel I haven't been to yet. Raghav, just listen to me for 30 seconds. Much before India Against Corruption was born, the biggest scams of this country were broken on this channel and on the media. So don't give us lectures. You leapfrogged on the work that we did. Be very clear about it. Arvind Kejriwal has not broken. 1 minute. I haven't completed. Arvind Kejriwal has not broken a single scam on his own. He has built his political career quoting the scams broken by us. Don't you lecture us. Second point. Second point in answer to the very specific question raised. Sorry, Mr. Raghav Chadha, you'll have to listen to me tonight. Second point, please. Second point, please. Don't again lecture us on whether we need to expose corruption. Whether it is the moral corruption in the Tejpal case, or the corruption in the Neera Radia case. This channel has stood strongly against both. So I don't need your permission or your certificate. Now I hand it over to Saba and to Hartosh. Saba, please. This lynch mob mentality of Saba. This lynch mob mentality of Arvind Kejriwal.
Let the journalist talk.
Saba, please. Let the journalist talk. Let the journalist talk.
You should expose this.
We have
Raghav, can I say one thing? Raghav, allow me. Can I now get in? The problem, the real problem, Raghav, is you cannot talk about one channel, one journalist is like that. There can be no room. It is constitutionally, ethically and morally wrong to suggest any kind of public trial. A public trial of any nature smacks of a majoritarian idea. Please bear that in mind. If you have a case against specific journalists, please take it to the court, have a criminal case, file a defamation suit. But even the idea of a public trial is very, very dangerous in a society which is there are different communities, there are often majority communities, there are smaller ethnic groups. Any kind of idea of a public trial is dangerous.
No, his idea is. I
appeal to you to take back this idea.
No, he won't. No. His idea is.
Please understand, Saba.
Yeah.
No, Saba.
And
public trial does not mean that somebody will pronounce a judgment or somebody will give a punishment.
What does a trial mean? What does a trial mean? Chadha, don't teach us English. Chadha, don't teach us English.
1 second.
What do you mean by a trial? What do you mean by a trial? You said trial is what? You define a trial. You lead a mob. You lead it to any media agency, burn it, and then that's the execution of law. Any trial means follows with justice. And what is the justice? A mob justice. That's what your Chief Minister about. He says you want to lead a mob justice.
You know, the irony is not
that too against the media. That too against media. We have suffered you. You have managed news. You have insider journalists. You had Supari journalists you are talking about. Who is with your party today? Who is with your party? Raghav, you can't be on the both sides. You can't be on both sides.
No, you have to.
Watch.
I can imagine. Sorry.
The irony is not. Anna, please allow me. The irony is not lost on me when somebody like Mr. Raghav Chadha from self-proclaimed anarchist party like Aam Aadmi Party questions my knowledge of law. Because your party doesn't certainly have any idea of law, because you're the people who time and again flout it. You're the people who obviously offer fake law degrees to the world. And the Honorable High Court is law minister. Now, having said that, come on, Mr. Raghav Chadha. Having said that, you're stinking, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal has been stung. He finds it difficult to defend himself. Now, when he finds himself in a defamation lawsuit, he tries to go to the Supreme Court to question why defamation is a criminal charge.
You have a trial? You are the person
you
who
first
decide.
explain what trial
Does the mob
means.
decide? Does the mob decide?
Your chief minister is an anarchist.
He is a self-proclaimed anarchist. He decides to trial you of a law of the land. Follow the law. That's important.
My knowledge of law is worth a lot more than your 4 weeks at LSE summer school.
What conflict of interest in law? What conflict of interest in law?
Enlighten us. Because you get personal, enlighten us.
Go to the law. Institutionalized law.
You're not about the law, Raghav.
You can't take law into your hands.
Mr. Chadha, you, your leaders, nobody in your organization is above the judiciary, is above the
you want to create
or the rule of law in this
country. My problem, by the way, on a lighter note, Raghav, on a lighter note, Hartosh, Raghav, on a lighter note, I would like to say that today there are 3 people in this country who feel there is a permanent conspiracy against them. The first is V.K. Singh. The second is Mamata Banerjee. And the third today is your own very right honourable, extremely upset, supporter of the public, supporter of the guillotine logic, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. Hartosh Singh Bal. No, I have not drawn a conclusion. It's very clear.
I am giving you evidence after evidence.
Don't give me evidence. What evidence? Did the India Against Corruption? Did India Against Corruption address the media? 1 second. Did India Against Corruption address the media?
What was the Supari in the Krantikari episode?
No, what's it? Did India Against Corruption?
Was the Supari involved in the Krantikari episode?
No, what's it? Just a minute. Nupur, let him hear this. Did Aam Aadmi Party address the media when it's made its allegations?
Journalism done by ZTV.
You said large section of the media. You said large section. One channel is not the whole media. Once you said large section of the media. What do you mean large section of the media?
My leader said the whole
your leader said large section of the media. Will your leader apologize for saying large section of the media?
He used the word section. He said media ka bada sabka.
You want to
generalize.
Bada is large section. Now we are going to teach you English, not only law.
Well, Hartosh Singh Bal wants to come in. Hartosh wants to say something to you. Raghav, listen to Hartosh, please.
Arnab, it's nobody's case that the media is totally corruption-free. I think a lot of us has written about this, examined this, reported stories on this. But the point is that you cannot selectively develop an allergy for corruption in the media. As long as the media is with you, I saw nobody in the AAP talk about corruption in the media. They were actually looking around for friendly faces to recruit to their side. They filled themselves up with journalists. It's a good question. Should we go back and examine the kind of coverage those journalists were giving this party?
Answer
exactly. Coverage. And today, today, why did they not realize this about Zee television for all these months? Suddenly, when there is criticism, there's a problem. You should have been taking on the question of media corruption when you needed the media in an election to broadcast your message. At that point, you should have examined this question. We would all examine it. Right now, you are suffering, you are reeling, and your desperation is showing.
No, Raghav, when the media acknowledge, thousands, with this remark, I'd like to place Arvind Kejriwal has basically said that we need to identify 8-10 locations, get a lot of people, and basically guillotine the media. That is the kind of argument that he's put out here. Now, what kind of lynch mob logic is this? I know he's a self-confessed anarchist, but this is worrisome. Is this why a person is elected a chief minister?
Mr. Goswami,
has he lost his sense of balance?
We can debate the idea of public trials. You may like it, you may not.
No, what do you mean public trial? Then don't become chief minister. What do you mean the idea of public trial? No, 1 second. One minute. Raghav Chadha. Raghav Chadha, don't.
Raghav Chadha, the jury is.
Raghav Chadha supports the public trial.
What do you mean by a public trial? The public?
No, he doesn't. No, what he means.
Led by your anarchist chief minister.
What he
means. Will he come to Noida City, Film City, take up offices here because the telecast is not to your standards?
Should I talk
He says he's going to tax people. Is he threatening people? Is he threatening
journalists? And who is he to decide what is wrong and what is right?
Tax people. He's going to.
Thankfully, we have courts in this country. Thankfully, we have a constitution in this country.
This topic is close to my heart. It is about independence of the press. It is about freedom. It is about protecting the editorial freedom.
And still, you are defending public trials, mob justice system, Mr. Raghav Chadha.
You please tell me.
With the BJP or the Congress. My point is very simple. Mr. Goswami, I can give you case after case. There was a time when we exposed the corruption of a very big industrialist in this country. After that, for 6 months, we were blacked out.
Exposed what? No. Exposed what?
No, watch it.
Who exposed what?
Hours before the
that
election.
Supari journalist that you called exposed. You had nothing to do with it. You just wrote on them.
You haven't done anything. You exposed
nothing.
You have done nothing.
Your leader is an anarchist, unstyled anarchist.
Raghav, you have such a problem with misreports. Go file a defamation lawsuit in the court. Do not become the courts yourself. That's the whole point here.
I will want a kangaroo court for the media. You want a guillotine system.
Thank God for that.
You actually would like to hang.
Let me make a disclosure, Mr. Goswami.
No, 1 second. Did the Aam Aadmi Party address the media when it chose to? 1 second. Did the Aam Aadmi Party address the media? Saba, 1 second. So, 1 second. I'm going to Saba and Hartosh again. My question is, sir, 1 second. Please, 1 second, sir. Did the Aam Aadmi Party, sorry, I'll hit close to your heart. I'll hit close to your heart. Did the Aam Aadmi Party address the media when it had to make allegations, when you were making allegations against Prashant Bhushan and Yogendra Yadav? Where were you making those allegations? Did the Aam Aadmi Party address the media when it chose to broadcast the sting operation on Sher Singh Dagar, the BJP leader who was allegedly trying to poach Aam Aadmi Party leaders? Did you complain about media coverage then? No. You complain about media coverage when your law minister is questioned.
It is not about the entire...
Well, it is entirely about the coverage.
What language to explain this to
Not
you?
one clear answer from you.
English, we can understand.
It is
English language.
Bottom line is, there is a problem that the Aam Aadmi Party has with the law in this country. Their leader, Arvind Kejriwal, has gone to the Supreme Court questioning the criminality or the punitive measures or the punitive the punishments that or the criminality of the defamation section. I'm sorry, Raghav, do not try and tell us this is about full media. Bada tabka, chota tabka.
No, the question is on Supari. No, the question. No, what's it? The question.
Of what you feel is incorrect.
The question is,
what is next? Public trial?
Hartosh and Saba coming in.
Flogging of what you think is incorrect?
Hartosh, no, one second, please. No, I'm going to Saba. I'm going to Saba and Hartosh. 1 second, please. Please understand this. In 2011, Arvind Kejriwal, 1 second. 2011, Saba. In 2011, Arvind Kejriwal, who is now criticizing the media, himself praised the media. And he acknowledged that the media had magnified the movement at Jantar Mantar and Ramlila Maidan. Right? Same Arvind Kejriwal in October 2011 said, and I quote, tonight, Raghav, you will be so embarrassed if I quote your leader now. I did not want to do it. I will now quote Arvind Kejriwal. It will severely embarrass you.
About the entire
no, I am going to severely embarrass your leader now by quoting your leader.
Now it is about the entire
media. Your leader said, Saba, this is interesting.
Now it is about the entire media.
No, your leader said. And by the way, Arvind Kejriwal is so scared of a proper interview that he runs away from people who he thinks can do a proper interview of his. He doesn't want to face us. He doesn't want to face Times Now.
Sir, it is not about
1 second, please. Let me answer, please. Sir, let me answer. I have seen your intolerance. I have seen your intolerance firsthand, sir. I have seen your intolerance of Yogendra Yadav and Prashant Bhushan and all of them together when you jointly boycotted Times Now many years back because he questioned you. Now, October 2011, here's a quote. In a nation, Arvind Kejriwal says, Arvind Kejriwal says, in a nation, Arvind Kejriwal says, in a nation, does a law minister who forges signatures of officials and steals funds of the handicapped deserve to stay on? If Khurshid has any shame, Saba, he said, if Khurshid has any shame, he will announce his resignation at the press conference.
Yes,
this is Arvind Kejriwal.
Just like in the
now, in the case of Jitendra Singh Tomar, his logic changes. In the context of his own law minister, he sees a conspiracy.
In Mr. Salman
Sir, don't get this.
Our stand is vindicated.
You realize what happens. You get into a shell right now.
So if a media channel is running a fabricated story,
I have asked you,
is running a fabricated
thankfully you are not.
And portraying this.
You have this victim complex. Now Saba and Hartosh can come in on this. So what you're suffering from is partial megalomania and a victim complex. I'm telling you, partial megalomania and a victim complex put together. 1 second, please. Saba.
Conclusions as you desire.
Saba.
Can I say a few things to Raghav?
Yeah, please.
Raghav, it is nobody's case that there are not imperfections in the media. But please understand, the Aam Aadmi Party is now in power and media is one of the most important pillars of any democracy. So you have to be very careful.
Does that mean we should
if
not
there is a specific complaint, that's a different issue altogether. And I myself have seen, we all have stories about media. We've all done stories about media. Media has done stories about paid news.
Exactly.
It has been media which has scrutinized itself. So that does not say, but let me finish. But you cannot even begin to talk about a public trial in 8 locations, and this was very specifically said. And what is this? In any area, there is a public which will be larger than those who are living there. This idea is undemocratic. It is a very dangerous idea. And for you to attempt to defend it, you're going to lose, you know, a lot of goodwill on this front, I'm afraid. It is morally, ethically, constitutionally flawed.
No, and by the way, Arvind Kejriwal speaks of a public trial. I'd like to get Hartosh on this. Now, when a news channel makes a factual error, one second, who will decide what is a factual error and what is an editorial line? A bunch of individuals who have a link to a particular political party or a court of law? Arvind Kejriwal has said, look for 8 to 10 places. One second. One second.
The channel is running a story that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is a land grabber. Is this journalism?
Okay, take them to court. If it's factually incorrect, you can take them to court. Who are you? You are not a Khap Panchayat.
Make sure that the Aam Aadmi
You are not a Khap Panchayat. You're not a Khap Panchayat. What exactly? Sorry, please understand.
Section of the media have the courage to stand
sorry, please, Mr. Raghav Chadha, what exactly is this call for trial by the Raghav Chadha? Raghav Chadha, the media also has a right. Raghav, relax. The media has a right to be tried by a court of law with a qualified judge in place. Arvind Kejriwal is not the King Emperor of India. And if he was, we'd be very worried. What kind of a King Emperor he become? Hartosh, please. Hartosh. Hartosh. No. I'm speaking of a system. The point right now is whether Raghav, whether your leader believes in a system or not.
That there is existence of yellow journalism.
Nobody is. I'm telling you one thing. You know when the Radia tapes happened. We know when the Radia tapes happened, and some people justified their position on the Radia tapes, and their channels also took positions saying there was nothing, no big deal about the Radia tapes. This channel questioned the Radia tapes, so we don't need your certificate for it. There's nobody denying that. I'm saying there's a rule of law. Hartosh.
Yes, and
Raghav, just one more thing before Arnab.
Raghav, let me come in.
One thing I want to say.
Hartosh.
You know, just one thing, Raghav, you've got to understand one thing, that there are many journalists who have faced the most difficult situations. And the last thing I or any of us subjectively will be subjected to is any sort of trial. We all face social media trial. All of us who've been done reporting know what hostile situations can be like.
Please,
we cannot have an elected authority endorsing anything of that sort.
No, we can. No, one second. Let's be very clear on it. Let's be very clear on it, and let me say it openly. That for what is a technical error, we're facing a trial, honorably facing a trial, but that may be a trial by a court and a judge, not in this manner. Hartosh.
Of course there will be.
Hartosh. Yes, and by the way, Hartosh can talk about the Radia tapes case. I for one said that what happened during the Radia tapes case, an attempt to directly or indirectly justify it by either the individual or the channel was unacceptable at that point of time. And therefore, we did not let anyone off the hook, whether the Radia tapes case or the Tarun Tejpal case. Hartosh.
Absolutely. And in both these cases, I think all of us have taken names, named specific journalists, specific channels. But the question, Raghav, you should really ask yourself is why, when today you are raising these questions, nobody is willing to stand with you, believe you, take you at face value. You have lost your own credibility through your antics, through your shenanigans. This is your lack of credibility that is being reflected. It is not that the media does not want to examine other people in the media. It is because you stand at the same level as those media houses you are accusing of.
And you cannot, and you don't need to. No, 1 second. Another point is, I'll tell you one thing. Hartosh was in the magazine that actually published the Radia tapes. Let me tell you, it was the Radia tapes case, was a classical case of the link between journalists, bureaucrats, politicians, in what can only be called the most unacceptable violation of any form of ethics. And I think Hartosh, I'd like to praise the position that Hartosh took at that point of time on it. It takes courage, Raghav, to take that kind of a position. Both the magazines represented on this program tonight took a position on that. And therefore, Raghav, you need to understand, threats won't work.
To the Supreme Court.
The more you threaten.
It was our leaders, it was the India Against Corruption people who took this case to the Supreme Court, and they're still fighting it. Number two, to answer
are you claiming Prashant Bhushan as your own? Are you claiming Prashant Bhushan as your own today?
For the last
Hartosh is asking you something. Hartosh, go ahead. Hartosh, go ahead. Hartosh.
I said India Against Corruption.
It's interesting that
for the last 6 months.
Interesting that today you are claiming Prashant Bhushan when it is convenient. After renouncing his credibility, after saying that it is wrong, the man you have chosen to dismiss from your party, the man you have chosen to dismiss from your party, you are today hiding behind him. I mean, no, it is not a fact, Raghav.
Hold on.
No, Raghav, I'm telling you something. This is where your credibility is suspect. First you hear me out and then I will answer your question.
Hear him, Raghav.
Decency to listen to somebody.
Hear Hartosh.
Yeah, Raghav, hear this out before you want to ask your question.
You've been leveling.
No, you have not. You've been talking through, Raghav. You have not heard a word anybody has said. You have been behaving in the worst possible manner, talking over everyone. Now, why don't you listen?
Please.
The point is very simple. Today, you are seeking refuge in Prashant Bhushan, the very man that you have thrown out of the party, questioned his credibility.
That's right.
India Against Corruption leaders.
Is that what you are saying? No, Raghav, my question is direct. Are you hiding behind Prashant Bhushan today?
India Against Corruption.
No, there's a simple question, Raghav, I'm asking. Are you saying Prashant was the man who took this to court? Are you hiding behind Prashant Bhushan today?
Please let me respond.
Are you hiding behind Prashant Bhushan today?
Mr. Goswami, I am on a...
Answer his question.
Bal is trying to obfuscate.
Are you hiding behind Prashant Bhushan today?
Conveniently trying to obfuscate.
No, he's not.
He can have his personal...
No, the question is straight. The question is straight.
Free to have it.
The question is straight, Raghav. You answer the question and we can go on. Are you hiding behind Prashant Bhushan after throwing him out?
Let me speak.
Answer him.
You haven't shown any courtesy. I'm asking you a straight question.
Please. So, can I please answer only if you stop? I mean, if this cacophony goes on, how can I
answer the question I'm asking you directly? Then I'll stop.
I quoted a fact that it was the India Against Corruption.
Is it Prashant Bhushan you are referring to? I'm just asking you that simple question.
The highest court of this country. Number one. Number two,
Prashant Bhushan.
Your point regarding the media.
Prashant Bhushan.
In the run-up to the elections. Now have the courtesy to listen.
No, you have not answered my question, Raghav. You have not answered the question, Raghav.
Mr. Bal.
You have not answered the question I'm asking you. Are you hiding behind Prashant Bhushan today?
Okay, 5 minutes to go. He's not answering the question. Hartosh is not answering the question. I want to ask you. I want to ask you 5 minutes left. Raghav Chadha, I want to bring back into the debate Tom Vadakkan and Nupur, please. No, 1 second. You say before the election. 1 second. No, 1 second. 1 second, Raghav Chadha. Raghav Chadha, here's a question.
Respond to these malicious charges.
Raghav Chadha.
Public trial is malicious. Taking law in your own hands, thinking your law unto yourself is malicious.
Your Chief Minister, your Honorable Chief Minister is malicious. He's called
a fake degree is malicious.
A Supari journalist. Wherever you heard of a thing like
this. A search warrant on foreign women is malicious in the dead of night. That is what is malicious. Allowing a person, looking at a person die in front of you is malicious.
You came to power accusing her of
things. Oh please, Mr. Raghav Chadha, fact is, you're not the India Against Corruption, you're the Aam Aadmi Party.
All right, gentlemen.
Oh, please.
4 minutes left. 4 minutes left. Raghav Chadha, I give you one more opportunity to respond. Raghav Chadha.
Raghav Chadha. Supari's word you used.
What? I don't know who uses the Supari word. Must be for their own reasons. Fine. They must be frustrated for their own reasons. The question now is very simple here. Raghav Chadha, 4 minutes left. Last question is to you. Now, given that Arvind Kejriwal has fallen back into his victim mode, 1 second, it's an important thing to be able to listen whether in power, out of power. When you're out of power, you used to listen. When you're in power, you've shared the... Yeah, please take a sip of water and listen to the question. Raghav Chadha, Arvind Kejriwal has fallen back into his victim mode vis-a-vis the media. He has said, and I quote, "I believe that these TV channels didn't leave an opportunity to defame the AAP before the elections. They are not foregoing any opportunity to defame us now." My question number one, 4 questions to you, sir. Please answer specific questions. Question number 1. Did Arvind Kejriwal see it as an opportunity to defame the Aam Aadmi Party when the media questioned him on why the 4 dubious companies that gave his party 50 lakh rupees each haven't been deemed worthy of investigation by the party's internal Lokpal?
It is being investigated.
Now this investigated. That's funny.
What's investigated?
No, it is being investigated.
Second, last, 1 second, 3 minutes left. 3 minutes left. Next question, please. Next question. Next question, please. Next question, please. Next question.
Sir, it is not about the Aam Aadmi Party.
Why is it not? Why would you not? Nothing is about the Aam Aadmi Party.
It is about supari journalism. It is about media oligopolies. It is about yellow journalism.
Again, you see.
Again, he used the word. Sir, this is about taking law into your own hands.
Press Council of India.
Let me just teach you some law tonight. This is about taking law into your own hands.
I don't know which eminent journalist used this word. I don't know which eminent journalist used the word. But I don't know whether an eminent journalist or an eminent politician uses the word. They should introspect.
Who's trying to decide what is right or wrong?
Last question tonight.
Your leaders, your people.
Last question tonight to Raghav Chadha.
Arnab, today we are dealing with a Terminator.
Last question tonight. Last question tonight.
Terminator of journalism.
Last question tonight to Raghav Chadha. Did Arvind Kejriwal see it as an opportunity to defame the AAP when the media shot off the shoulders of the founding members of the party, saying the party chiefs strayed from the main principles on which the party was founded? When Shanti Bhushan was quoted and made headlines, was it an opportunity to defame the AAP? Question number 2. Question number 3. Did Arvind Kejriwal see it as an opportunity to defame the AAP because the media questioned his decision to go on with his speech when Gajendra Singh had committed suicide? Come on, please come out with the truth.
Okay, now I will respond.
Specifically,
yes,
please, specifically.
I urge Mr. Goswami, for the second time in the show, let me respond. Yes, let me respond.
Whether it is a confession
or
Mr.
it is
Chadha is a confession.
A lot of ambiguity.
Not a response. It has to be a confession.
There seems to be a lot of ambiguity. Let me again make it very categorical, Mr. Goswami, that a section of the media, particularly that channel that Mr. Kejriwal, mentioned in that statement, has been running a campaign.
Well, let me tell you one thing. Mr. Kejriwal is in the habit. Mr. Kejriwal is in the habit.
Take it to court.
Has gone to jail.
You've got a problem. Take it to the court.
The owner of that channel is seen. The owner of that channel has shared a stage during election rallies with Mr. Modi. The owner of that channel has been on stage with Mr. Modi during election rally campaigns as a dignitary and has urged the people to contribute to the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Mr. Modi,
ladies and gentlemen, let me say it clearly. The question is today of intolerance. And one thing is there, all political parties. 1 second, Nupur, remember this. All political parties. Saba, last word.
1 point.
Last word, Saba, quickly.
Well, Raghav, just hear me one thing. What would you say if the BJP said that they're going to have Mohalla Sabas and decide who is right and who is wrong?
They'd support
it. Do you not see the dangerous thing that you are saying right now?
They'd support it.
And the Chief Minister must retract that.
They would support it. I think Arvind Kejriwal would support it.
To respond if the Bharatiya Janata Party government
and ladies and gentlemen, I'm wrapping up this debate. I'd only say tonight, time to introspect. Time to introspect. Even if you are cocooned, even if you are on the defensive.
And time to introspect.
Even if you are on the defensive, Raghav Chadha, think of what you've said. This guillotine approach to politics is not going to take you anywhere. Thank you very much for joining me on this debate on the Newshour tonight.